Well, hello there, and welcome back to another episode of Vlogmas 2025. So, it is the holidays, and I feel like every year I do a holiday baking with Saahir, and this week I am making cinnamon rolls. I've made them once before, and they turned out really good. So I am just gonna do the same recipe again. We are going to follow the New York Times Claire Saffitz recipe. So this is gonna be a full start to finish process. It is currently Monday evening, and I'm making one batch for my family, and then I'm gonna make another for Friendsgiving, so we're gonna start just by looking at everything, making sure we have the proper quantities of everything. I have only been moved out for a couple of months now, but suddenly I don't know where anything is. Like, where do we put our measuring cups now? I only found two. Maybe I'll go to the dollar store and pick some up. I'm literally making sure we have one full cup. Okay, we definitely have 1 cup of brown sugar. Okay, we don't have granulated sugar. We do have salt. I am gonna need butter. Done at Walmart. We are now going to go back home and get started. Okay, we're gonna start. I have the recipe right here. We are going to start with our dough. So first up, as Claire Saffitz says, we're gonna start by doing something called scalding, which is basically we wanna take our milk, and it'll help with the gelatinization of the starches, and it'll help with, you know, just like the protein structure and all of those things. So for that, we are going to take 1 cup of water to the stove. And this, what I meant by my buffoonish definition before, is it's gonna help it not be like a crumbly. Instead of crumbly, it'll be like a nice fluffy, stretchy dough. So let's go over to the stove. Okay, so I realize I have not been recording for a lot of that. Okay, so what we're gonna do is I have the milk here on medium heat, super just low, and all we wanted to do, I'm also gonna turn on the fan. Basically, all we're gonna do is just let this get a little warm. Like I said, we're allowing this to happen so the dough becomes more stretchy when we actually make the dough. Keep watching it, make sure it does not boil, and then once it does that, I'll show you. So it seems like it's starting to get that ring of bubbles right around that side. You kind of see it. And what I'm going to do is now we're actually going to take the measuring cup it was in before and just measure out 1/3 cup. So I'm gonna get down here for some nice eye level. That's almost exactly 1/3 cup. And now I am going to grab my whisk and the 1/4 cup flour and just get that and just whisk it vigorously. And I think it's okay if you have clumps. I'm gonna try to get a good amount of them out. So smooth mashed potatoes right here, and we're gonna add this and the milk to our stand mixer. Also, I know y'all can't see me right now, but what I try to do is after every step, especially with these like flour mixtures, it's just easier to rinse as you go. Because the thing about like flour when it's wet is it will stick to everything, and then it'll get crusty. And you know what? My parents are excited to have me home, and by ruining their dishes, I would be destroying that. To this mixture, I'm gonna throw in 2 ounces or 1/4 cup of ice cold water, and I'm straining out the ice because I don't want it to add the water. And this is also gonna help with gluten development because whenever it's just milk, it's very starchy. Also, y'all, if y'all want to see like a professional do this, go watch the official video. This is like me trying to be, you know, entertaining. From the fridge, we're gonna add 3 cold eggs. And then you want to feel the side of your bowl. If it's just like room temp, you're good. Mine feels close to room temp. I'm gonna pop it in the fridge just because a colder mixture is easier to work with. So that's what I'm gonna end up doing. If yours is cold or whatever, or like room temperature and you feel comfortable working with that, by all means, don't do anything. But fridge. Just gonna pop it in for a couple minutes. All right, so I'm gonna let this chill in the fridge. It is currently 8:01. I'm gonna let it chill for about 5 to 10 minutes. And I'm gonna try to clean up the behind the camera, and I will see you very soon. We're back. All right, our cold bowl, we're gonna throw in a teaspoon of yeast. Both work. I'm using Active Dry. And we're just gonna mix this on low speed. And I'm just gonna let it do its thing. Hydrate all the flour. Make sure it gets all mixed in. And then once this is done mixing, we're gonna cover and let it rest for 5 minutes. And then we'll continue on. So I guess I'll see y'all very soon. It's already starting to get pretty close. I wonder if I should just like kind of push this flour. I'm sure the mixer knows what it's doing. Bertha is, so it's pretty much, like again, this is supposed to be very like shaggy and just combined enough. So now I'm gonna throw a towel over it. Throw a towel over, we'll be back in 5. Stop. We're gonna throw in our salt and our sugar, and it's gonna just go until the dough is like super smooth and like stretchy and just looks more cinnamon roll-y. It says mix for 15 to 20 minutes. So if I had a glass bowl, I would time lapse, but y'all can't see what's going on, and you're just gonna hear this ka-chunk of this little baby mixer. I will say now, if you haven't done this already, would be a good time to get your butter out and cut it into 1-inch cubes or like 1 tablespoon cubes, because after this mix, that's exactly what we're gonna do. We're about halfway through, so I wanted to just, oh, whoa, it does look different, but my mixer is, she's warm. Like, ooh. That is a lot more stretchy and doughy than when y'all first saw it. Okay, so the timer went off. My mixer is getting a little warm, so I am just gonna let it cool down. However, while that's been going on, for the filling, we need Biscoff cookies ground up, so I'm just gonna put them into a little quart-sized bag, and then I'm just gonna mash them up with my hands to make my life easier tomorrow when I have to pop them into the oven. But I'll see y'all very soon for the next part. All right, this is what the cookies look like, and I'm gonna do this all over again for the second batch. Mixer has cooled down a little bit, and then we're just gonna throw one at a time. I'm gonna turn it up until each one is fully combined. That's how long I'll wait in between. All right, so the last stick of butter has been thrown into the mixer. Bertha is toasty. That's okay, because once this is fully combined, I'm literally just gonna scrape down the sides and pop it into the fridge covered overnight. And then we will be back tomorrow to roll out, fill, and ice. And yes, so my battery is also flashing and my camera's about to die. So I will see y'all bright and early tomorrow morning. All right, let's do this. We're gonna pop in our Biscoff cookies. I already ground these up mostly. They're mostly pulverized, but I'm just gonna finish it off in this. And then we're gonna throw in 2 scoops light brown, whatever brown sugar you have. Also gonna shake in a good amount of cinnamon because, well, they are cinnamon rolls. And just a little bit of salt. I'm just gonna pop this on. This is not plugged in. I totally didn't just put this in the microwave for a little bit, but this is done. It looks a little different than the recipe, but that's okay. I don't think I should have melted it as much as I did. So, I'm gonna pretend like I didn't just drop a little glass cup. Don't worry, it's all clean. I made sure it was clean. But we do have to move on. So I have our tray here. It's clean. This isn't this exact pan that's, that we were supposed to use in the recipe, but I'm saving that for my second batch that I'm making tomorrow. So instead, we're using that. And I'm just gonna get some butte, get the tray all buttered, and a piece of foil that will cover the rolls. Gonna get that buttered as well. All right, it's time to make the rolls. We are going to flour our area. I'm just gonna work it into a rectangle, and then I'm just gonna periodically turn it, and also just like kind of trying to keep it a rectangle. And you want to work pretty quick because you don't want all that butter in the dough to start melting. Gonna take one more and just do a final shape. And now we're gonna just take this and kind of just plop it. And then what I think I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna pop this into the fridge for a little bit, just because I want to make sure that this filling isn't super soft, because once I cut it, it is gonna spill everywhere. And then I'll let it come all the way up to the corner on that long side closest to me, but leave a little bit of a border everywhere else. And then we're just gonna fold it over itself. And then I'm just gonna kind of massage it and just let it be equal, and just letting it sit along that seam right here. And then these I'm gonna cover with foil, and we're gonna let them rise at room temp for about 30 to 45 minutes. While that's rising, we will work on the icing, and then I'll bake them because I do have to leave in an hour. So, okay, for the icing, I'm just taking a bowl and just one package of cream cheese, because I don't know about y'all, but my family loves a cream cheese frosting. These are gonna cool, and then I'll cover them with icing and we'll be good. The rolls are a little deformed, but they do look good.
Alright, so you know what, leave it to Saahir that of course the pre-filmed vlogs that I make are the ones that don't end up having an outro. Thank you so much for watching me bake these cookies, or not cookies, sorry, that's, hopefully we'll do that later on. But thank you all so much for watching me bake these cinnamon rolls. Again, the actual recipe will be linked down below, and make sure to come back tomorrow. We're gonna keep doing Vlogmas. I may do another pre-film tomorrow just because I have finals and I need to prioritize that over everything else, unfortunately, because I am first a student. But other than that, make sure to comment down below what your favorite holiday dessert is. Mine may be a little obvious considering we just spent the last 13.5 minutes baking it, but they are cinnamon rolls, and yes, make sure to come back tomorrow for another vlog. Alright, bye.